How do you know you're alive? I mean, really. I'm going to tell you a personal story. I had an accident 4 years ago and my life stopped. Everything stopped. I no longer worked, no longer had any friends or social connections. I lived in an apartment, which I still do, and didn't see anyone. My family left. I was just alone. At that time, I felt like, well, I almost did die. And then maybe I did die. And maybe this is actually just some other reality that's not life anymore because it doesn't feel like my life. It doesn't feel like any of the things that gave my life vitality are still here. So, how do you actually know if you're still alive? Or how do you know that you are alive in the first place? We know that we are not our body, for example. And if I cut my hair, well, it doesn't hurt, but part of me is gone. If I cut my finger off, it hurts, but it's bandaged up and that's gone. But I'm still alive and I'm still here. If I bleed, we might say, well, that tells me I'm alive. Well, why would that tell you anything? What does that even mean, alive? It's just a definition. It's just something that we're saying. Alive and dead. The person makes noise, they're alive. The person stops, they're dead. We don't know what even causes life to happen. When we're born, there are cells. The cells replicate. Eventually, there's something called a heart and it starts moving. And then blood and things like that are happening. But at what point in that process is life? No one knows. Why is it happening? No one knows. What is determining it? What is causing it? Nobody knows. So, if anything, alive is just all of it. Corpses, me, you, all of it. So that is kind of where I'm a little bit not lost, but just exploring. As I used to think that life was going to work, having friends, talking to people. I used to think that. Um, Having blood rush, like if you go to exercise or have an embarrassing moment or something that causes things to flow. I thought that was alive. But this just feels like noise to me. It's just electrical activity in my brain that's making noise, that's making me talk. I think I'm talking. I think I'm recording a video. I think you're listening to it. I don't really know. There's no way to actually find out. And even if I could find out, like I could say, hey, here it is. There's nothing to confirm it. There's nothing in the world outside of me that's going to confirm that I'm alive besides myself, I think. I think it's a self-affirmation is the only way that that's even possible. If you think you're alive, you're alive. If you don't, you're not. What does it even matter? People make such a big deal about things. People are so concerned about. Can you even imagine the things people worry about from day to day? Money, zits on their face, things that don't matter. Um, Everything matters, though, is the thing, is we take it so seriously. It's life or death, no matter what it is. I'm a teenager, I have a pimple, it's life or death. Um, and all the way to the most extreme, severe examples of things that are really gruesome and serious. But there's no line. There's no line between alive and dead. It's why we can communicate with ghosts, spirits, and all these things. That's why those things are all around us, because there's actually no line between those things. There's no separation between this world where we're talking and aware of like flesh and blood and memory and humans that live for 100 years and always die and go away. There's no separation between that and the world where things live forever and last forever in some weird, if ethereal or ephemeral kind of a way. So as I'm sitting here, for the 1,000 day in a row, buying the same food, cutting the same vegetable, eating the same food in my body, pooping the same poop, making the same YouTube videos, it's not like my life has gone in any big direction. My pain and disability levels have like gotten a little bit better. They've gone down a little bit. My ability to move around my body has gone a little bit up, but I'm not like out there in the world making my mark on the world or making progress in any way that would be measurable. And that's kind of how people measure the fact that they're here and doing something. We're striving for something. But that's a human thing. That's an idea thing. I can't believe it's only been 5 minutes that I've been recording this. I feel like I've been talking forever. That's the other thing, too, guys. Time. What about it? What about it? 5 minutes is 1 second at this point. 1 second is 10,000 days. And you want to grasp something. You want to hold on to something. You want it to make sense. And what is that going to get you in the end? You know, what is that actually going to get you in the end? You think you're going to get something? You're not going to get anything. You can't get anything. There's no you, there's nothing to get. So, where in this, where do we find, because the world right now around us is very confused. A lot of that messages that you receive from the media is very confused, or it's confusing, and it's constantly contradicting, and it's constantly changing. So your brain can't keep up with all that, and nor should you. Why would you even want to try to understand the noise of the brain? Because it's almost as if, I can only speak for myself, but we're caught in some kind of weird waking nightmare, waiting to wake up from this dream. And then we realize, oh my gosh, no, this is actually it. This experience that I'm having right now, with all of what I just said, I don't feel alive, I don't know what's happening, this is actually it. You can't really escape that, your personal perspective. We want to have out-of-body experiences, we want to lose ourself and our ego and find ourselves again, fine. But all of that is going to be is filtered through your brain or your perspective. Even if you go out of your body, you don't stay out of your body. If you do that, then you're gone, you're dead, you're a ghost. So that's kind of what I'm talking about, but I gotta sneeze. Bless you. Praise Allah. And see if another one wants to come or not. Imagine if this experience that you're having right now is a dream. Imagine if this is a dream. What if this is a dream? And for me, I think I died and woke up a long time ago, but this is kind of a ghost, or it's like a mirage that's still kind of like fading away and playing itself out. And it's funny that the brain can think that, you know, this isn't the real me. There's some other real me that's whether the past or the future or it's in some other place. It's funny that the brain can think that, trick itself into thinking that this isn't actually happening. Because this is most certainly the only thing that I'm aware of that's happening right now is this. There's nothing else happening. And, you know, in my experience, it's just like, because I've been living in the same place for 4 years with the same scenery, the beige wall, you know, it's always there. I lose like the feathers on the refrigerator that my daughter made this for me like 3 years ago. But I don't live with her. I haven't seen her in 3 years. So I don't know what she's doing from day to day. So it's just everything's frozen in time. The blue cushion that's on the floor for however many years. All these things are just the same, but they're not. They're changing, but but it's slow. Things are slow for me. You might say, oh, well, that's, you know, you may empathize with me, etc. But even if I had all the things in life, vitality, life, career, family, friends, joy, you know, a constantly changing thing, whatever. Okay, but those are things that are changing. This is also changing, just in a slower rate. My life right now is very slow, very small, very contained. And I do notice also that a lot of the world around me is going very fast. even faster and faster and faster, accelerating. But as for life, which is what I really wanted to say, is nothing really gets you there. Sex, drugs, rock and roll, and all those things, very ephemeral, doesn't really get you there. There will certainly come a time when I can't do this anymore, when this sound of my voice is gone. So you would think that I would be motivated to really embrace that now. Like, wow, this is so cool. This is me. How cool is that? How cool is that I get to do this right now? You know? And it's like, am I just psyching myself up and do I feel kind of sad for myself? Or is it actually really amazing? Rather than making it a, hey, let's feel good about me, like, how do we actually genuinely appreciate, not in a postcard kind of way? You know what I mean? Like, we can have those fleeting moments of surface level social, hey, everything's cool, man, great. But to deeply appreciate something on an intimate level doesn't seem like we share that very often. I love this. Hang on. So anyway, I have no idea what I'm going to title this video. I've been not doing well with that. I've been on a, what's the opposite of being on a roll? I'm stuck in YouTube land right now. I was going to quit the channel a few weeks ago and I didn't. I almost posted a video saying, maybe I'm going to quit the channel. But everything that I've posted since then has done very poorly. And so no one's seeing the videos like they used to. I think I'm just not, my heart isn't in it right now. But yeah, there's birds outside, there's a bunny rabbit outside, things like that. You know, moving things. It's kind of what we think of as life. Things that are moving and changing. So the fact that I'm blinking should tell me that I'm alive. If I could really see, you know what I'm saying? If I could really see. But that always brings it to the future. If I could see, like I'm imagining that's going to happen like in 1 second from now. What if right now, can you ever really get there? Right now. Ha! I'm trying to spook myself, but ha! But it's like always too late. It's always too late. How do we get right there, you know, right on the moment? I think it's a matter of you can't stand still just even for a second, but you also can't move forward. You cannot, that's so confusing. You cannot move forward in life, nor can you stand still. But also, you're not just passively flowing, you're actively not saying anything, I guess is I don't know how to explain it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if you stand still, you drown. If you move forward, you get confused. If you keep with the flow, you don't just let go and say, carry me along, life. But if you keep with the flow, right with it, that somehow is the way. It's right in the middle of moving and standing still. Standing still, you're gone. So that only can happen right now. It's not something you progress through life. It's something that you find in the moment, and then that's the moment that ever unfolds. And you don't go too far into it. You stay in the it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's so confusing to just you can glimpse the moment, but how do you live the moment? How do you live it? How do you get out of your head and just live the moment by moment by moment by moment, such that every moment is a continuation of the next moment, such that your life is no longer friction. It's no longer pulling. It's just flowing wonderfully. Knowing when to let go, knowing when to take a step forward, knowing when to move on to the next thing, knowing when to keep doing the thing you're doing. There's a timing to everything. There's such a grace to it all, but it requires you to show up every moment, and that's so hard. Can I just say that that's hard? I want to just say, show up every moment. Yay, great. Without saying anything about the difficulty of it. In that way, we move forward. The commentary about the difficulty and the complaints about the struggle is not usually going to amount to any kind of alignment. So it's a very there is a level of like discipline, like rationality that is necessary, combined with a relaxed self that is also necessary. It's that middle way, it's that balance, somewhere right in the middle. So that is all I have to say for today. Today is May 13th. Today is Wednesday.